it's Teacher Bryce and Pity, of course. Welcome back to another story time. Today, I thought that it would be such a great idea if maybe I called a friend of mine on the phone and she could help Pity and I tell you a fun story. Do you think that would be okay? I'm gonna call her. She is a fairy and her name is Blossom and she comes from the Blue Lagoon. She's very cool and she has blue hair. All of the fairies in the Blue Lagoon have blue hair. I bet you might recognize her when she comes to join us. Let's give her a call. Do you think we should give her a call, Pete? Do you think we should give her a call? Let's make sure she can hear us. Hi, Blossom. It's me, Teacher Bryce.
Hi, Bryce. How are you?
I'm doing great. Do you think that maybe you could pay us a visit and help me tell a story to my friends?
I would absolutely adore that. I'll be just right there.
Hooray, friend. She's going to join us. 1 minute. Okay, thank you. See you soon.
See you.
Hello, fairies. My name is Blossom, and I am a fairy queen. I come from a faraway land called the Blue Lagoon. You can tell because my hair is blue. I would like to come and tell you guys a story today. And this story is about a fairy that I once knew who was in training. Now we're best buds. Would you guys like to join me for the story? This story is called The Fairiest Fairy, and it's a really good story. I'll share it with you now. But don't tell anybody that I'm here. It's a secret. I'm supposed to be watching my kingdom, but I decided to help my friend Teacher Bryce out today. Betty was a fairy who just never got things right. She was always in a muddle, though she tried with all her might. There she is. She's gotten her backpack stuck. And when she went to fairy school, she did her very best. But fairy wings are tricky when you're putting on a vest. You know, Teacher Bryce told me that you guys have vests just like this. Is that true? Her pirouettes were wobbly, though most enthusiastic, and no one else's magic wand was tied with an elastic. What shall we do with Betty? Her fairy teacher cried. She's such a messy muddle, and she shook her head and sighed. Her fairy teacher's a little frustrated with her. One day, Miss Petal clapped her hands. Now, fairies, listen well. Today's a most important day. It's time for your first spell. The first thing that a fairy learns is lots and lots of fun. Let's scatter all the dewdrops so they sparkle in the sun. The other fairies get it right, said Betty, feeling sad. My dewdrops just make puddles since my sprinkling is so bad. There's Betty. She looks a little sad. Then Betty heard a rabbit cry. He sounded so forlorn, and in his paw she found a very nasty thorn. She pulled it out and bathed his foot in one of her dew puddles, then dried the little rabbit's tears and gave him lots of cuddles. There she is. Thank you, said the rabbit. Oh, you are very kind. Now I can hop with all my friends and not get left behind. It's okay, said Betty. There she is, such a kind fairy. That day at school, the fairies learned another special power. Miss Petal taught them morning spells to wake up every flowers. There they go. Good morning. Wake up, little flowers. The other fairies waved their wand and each bud opened up. Oh no, it looks like Betty's having a little bit of trouble. While Betty found a baby bird behind a buttercup. I'm hiding, said the little bird. I'm much too scared to fly. But Betty said, I'm sure you're brave, and showed him how to try. Oh, thank you, said the blackbird, and he flapped his wings and flew. You've helped me find my courage. Now just see what I can do. Look, there the blackbird goes. He's flying away. Just then, the rain came pouring down from dark clouds overhead. It's time to paint some rainbows now, said Miss Petal. And she quickly said, but Betty's flying was so slow. She started very late. She had to rush her rainbow, and it got in quite a state. Oh no, look at Betty's rainbow. It's a little wibbly and wobbly, and her colors are mixing. I think she's getting a little sad. Betty felt so glum. She crept away into the flowers, but then a little voice said, "I've been stuck in here for hours. My laces are all tangled up. I don't know what to do." "I'll work it out," said Betty. "I'll soon untangle you." "Oh, thank you," said the little butterfly. "It's very clear to me that you're the smartest fairy I could ever hope to see." Look, the little butterfly. She helped it get free. Wow, so kind of Betty. All week the fairies practiced wicking flowers, spreading dewdrops, and painting beautiful rainbows with red and green and blue. But little messy Betty had a broken-hearted cry. "I'm always in a muddle even though I try and try." Poor Betty, what do you think will happen? Each year, the fairy king and queen arranged a fairy ball and chose from all the fairies who the fairiest of them all. But Betty whispered to her friends, "I can't do anything. I just can't do spells well enough to show the king and queen. I have to scatter dewdrops, but my sprinkling is no good, and I can't wake up the flowers as a fairy really should. My rainbows are too wobbly and all messy at the ends. Oh, please don't worry, Betty. We can help you," said her friends. First, Rabbit had a bright idea. "Now, Betty, hold on tight. We'll scatter all the dewdrops as I skip from left to right." "Bravo!" the king exclaimed. "Well done," agreed the queen. "This is the sparkliest dewdrop dance that we have ever seen." "Oh, thank you, Rabbit," Betty said, "for such a happy dance. Without your lovely leaps and bounds, I didn't have a chance." So Rabbit helped her spread her dewdrops. They worked together. Then Blackbird said, "To wake the flowers, just listen to my song. I'll teach you how to whistle it. It won't take very long." "Oh, Betty," said the king and queen, "you whistle like a bird. We think your waking up tune is the loveliest we've ever heard." "Thank you, Blackbird," Betty said. "It's all because of you. You taught me to be brave and how to try out something new." There they are. For painting rainbows, Butterfly knew just the thing to do. "Match the colors on my wings from red and green to blue." "How beautiful!" the queen exclaimed. "It's lovely," said the king. "Your rainbows are truly wonderful, a really gorgeous thing." Betty blushed and thanked her friend, a bright smile on her face. "Look, every single color is in exactly the right place." The king said, "Fairies, gather round. It's time to give the prize. And when you find out who has won, it might be a surprise." "It's Betty," said the queen. "She's so clever, brave, and kind. She's the fairiest fairy we could ever hope to find." "Oh, thank you," Betty said. "This one, the one who's most surprised is me. I couldn't do a single thing without my friend, you see." "But Betty," said the queen, "you've shown us how to be a friend and proved that helping others is what matters in the end." Then Betty gave a hug to Rabbit, Bird, and Butterfly, and all of the other fairies cheered till Betty felt quite shy. And everyone was happy at the Royal Fairy Ball. They all agreed that Betty was the fairiest of them all. Wow, Betty did such a good job. She was such a good friend and she helped others, and in the end, they helped her too. I have a story that's just like Betty. I helped many friends when I was in fairy training, and that's how I became the Fairy Queen. I hope to join you guys very soon for another story. In the meantime, I have created some beautiful projects that you can take care of at home with mommy or daddy or your parent or whoever's with you. They're very easy, and one of them is so yummy. Make sure that you take lots of pictures and that you put them online so I can see them from the Blue Lagoon. I'll catch you later. See you next time.